Poltergeist. Okay, it's kind of a classic from the 1980s. The first one's the best. Everyone will more or less agree with that one. The sequels just decline and just get worse. And then even worse. And now they're remaking it. Well, I say remake, they're actually rebooting it. It's sort of a new story, but it's still sort of connected to the first one, but it's its own story, if you get what I mean. Now, I know you've heard me go ranting on about remakes and if they're actually deemed, should it be done, should it not be done, all this. But this one, I'm not hating the fact. Hate's actually a strong word. Hate's just too much of a strong word, really. Disliking. Disliking's a better phrase for this. I'm intrigued on how they would do a reboot for Poltergeist. Again, since its sequels were bad. Yes, I think they should have just left it. Yes, it should be a story that is left. Or they could just do their own little story. But what's intrigued me is the fact they've got Sam Raimi involved. Who, hey, I thought he did brilliantly with the original Evil Deads. I actually also enjoyed the Spider-Mans as well. Like, Tobey Maguire was a bit of a crybaby during them, but overall I thought they were decent films. So for him to do Poltergeist, that's the intriguing bit, because he's quite well known for his kind of crazy practical effects. Like a lot of the Evil Dead had those kind of practical effects elements, and they looked kind of like it was a horror movie which you could like kind of look away from, but it was kind of silly at the same time. It was a fun, scary movie. Is that what they're doing here with Poltergeist? From the trailer, it looks a little bit too serious. It looks a bit too modern. As in, it's taking the Insidious route, which is actually, they've got someone from Insidious working on the movie as well. You look that up a little bit more. But is it just getting a little bit too much? Are we getting too much of the same horror formula continuing, really? Like, we've got another Insidious coming out, we've got another Paranormal Activity coming out, we've got now another Sinister movie coming out. It just seems to be the same story each time. It's like ironically, it's kind of like within Poltergeist, you got the same houses being built, just with a different colour scheme, either inside or inside. It's the same house with just a little bit of a different lick of paint. That's all we are getting each time with these ghostly horror movies. Why don't we get something a little different? But hey, maybe Poltergeist, the new one, could surprise us. Like I said, I'm not hating the fact of it. I'm intrigued enough because of Sam Raimi's involvement in it. It could be decent. It's not going to be bad in the original. Well, maybe one aspect of the tearing face, that can be improved. But we got to like the family. We like their development. We like what they went... Well, I'd say like. They didn't obviously like it because they were getting fucking scared of ghosts. Or poltergeists in this case. But we saw their development throughout film becoming closer to one another after this traumatic experience. This, it just seems to be a little bit too much of the same. Again, the clown. That's a little gripe I've seen a lot of people go on about. Me, I thought the clown, yes, it looked scary, but it looked too sinister to be scary. Like, it looked like they deliberately made the clown to look scary. The fact that in the original one, it was just a normal looking doll. It did have that kind of over happiness, over joyful look of it. It is kind of a scary thing with clowns. So, that made it look a lot more scary when it actually came alive and it had a terrifying face when it went to strangle the kid. So, I think it was a lot scarier done in the original than the remake, which they're developing. But hey, only time will tell with these movies. So, am I intrigued? Yes. Do I think I'll like it? Maybe. Will it be as good as the original? Probably not. But then again, it can't be worse than Poltergeist 3. I've been Movie Maniac. See ya.